Hey everybody, it's Dave from the Fit Club Network. A couple of months ago, I did a blog post and a video about why you should be using cycling shoes if you are on a stationary bike, whether it's a MYX Fitness Bike or a different brand. And I talked a lot about the pedal stroke mechanics and the importance of that. I'll link those so you can go look at that if you're interested in why you should use shoes. I highly recommend them. Makes your workout a lot more efficient and is also going to just allow you to use some muscles that you probably can't use if you're just using normal athletic shoes and pointing your toe down. But that's for the other video. In response to that, I got a lot of questions. And the questions were always, what kind of shoes should I buy? So I thought I'd just do another quick review, show you 3 different types of shoes that I have and which ones I use when I'm on my spin bike and why, and help you make some buying decisions. And then I'm gonna talk about a 4th type of shoe, which I do not own, but a lot of people that I know have them and they've had some good success. So let's take a look at shoe number 1. Shoe number 1, these are the Giro Factor Tech Lace. They're from 2019, so they don't currently make these anymore, but they make similar ones. You know, they just change the colorways and do a little updating to them. These are the newest shoes I have. They are the best shoes that I have. If you have a big budget and you are looking for ultimate comfort and performance, hard to go wrong with something like this, just whatever the updated version is. A couple things I really love about them and why they're so comfortable. First of all, they're extremely stiff. Okay, carbon fiber soles, super stiff, which is really what you want in a road cycling shoe or a spin bike shoe. They also have a BOA adjustment, which allows you to just sort of really quickly get in and out of these things. And then this button pops down. Hopefully you can see how that's ratcheting down. And then also they have this laced up kind of front with Velcro. These were replacing a shoe called the Empire, which was all laces. So like a regular pair of tennis shoes or whatever, which were awesome, comfortable, but extremely hard to adjust. If you were on your bike and you had those shoes a little too tight, you were gonna have to stop, get off, and mess around with laces. With these, you can just kind of reach around and make a little adjustments. These are awesome. I do not use these for my MYX bike. And the reason I don't is the cleat. This is a Look cleat, and I have Asioma pedals with power meters in them on my road bike. So in order to use these for the MYX spin bike, I would have to switch cleats every single time I want to go from one bike to the other. And I don't want to do that. I want to just get on my bike and go. But these are sort of the top of the line for me. Highly recommend it. They're super comfortable. They're breathable. They're so adjustable. If you don't have a budget, I recommend something like this and specifically from Giro. I think they make great shoes. Let's look at number 2. Pair number 2. I'm not going to talk about these very long other than to tell you why I don't use them. These are mountain biking shoes. And there's a couple reasons I don't use them. And ones, they could work potentially, but there's something I want to highlight you to if you're using a pedal on a spin bike that is like the one on the MYX bike, big flat pedal. So the drawbacks with them, they're just kind of clunky, they're kind of heavy, they're not as stiff as the other shoes, they're certainly not as nice. Otherwise, they probably work, they're fairly adjustable, they're fairly comfortable. The biggest thing I wanted to point out with these is because they have all this tread on the bottom, okay? I would be a little concerned, and this is why I've never even tried these on the MYX bike. I'd be a little concerned that all of this tread would block you from clipping into the cleat on the MYX bike. So I wouldn't go out there and buy some mountain biking shoes, although if you have a pair, in particular if they have a 2-hole pattern, I'll talk about the cleat pattern in a minute, but if they have a 2-hole pattern, worth a shot, and they will definitely work. But I don't use them because I have better shoes, which I will show you next. All right, let's talk about the shoes I actually use for my MYX bike. These are Shimano TR50s. They're very old, 2010 probably-ish. And they're designed for triathlon, and that's why I got them. I was super into triathlon at the time, and I bought these shoes. They're really designed for a couple things. They are designed to get in and out of really easily, have airflow, and they actually have hole to drain water. So the idea is, you finish your swim, you run over your bike, take off your wetsuit, put these on as fast as possible. You don't need socks, and off you go. The reason that I like them for the MYX bike specifically is we have a lot of workouts that are like two-part workouts. So it's like 15 minutes of cycling and 15 minutes of lifting weights. I like to work out barefoot. I don't usually wear shoes when I work out unless I'm on the bike. So these, I can just really quickly get in and out of them. And then again, they're designed to be worn barefoot. You can wash them. I did replace the insoles in these because they're pretty worn out, but that was easy. Something like this, I think is awesome, especially if you're kind of like me where that barefoot appeals to you. What I want to talk about though, two things with this shoe. The first is the pattern on the cleat, and then I want to talk about shoes that are kind of similar to these that are new that I don't have a pair of because these just work really well for me. So if we look at the bottom, right, we're looking for an SPD cleat, SPD cleat. It has two holes in it. What you would see if it didn't have this plate on here is this shoe has 3 holes. Those Giros are the same way because they're designed for the cleats on this bike. So I have an adapter here that allows you to fit a shoe has 3 holes onto a cleat that only has 2. So one thing I would look for to make your life easy, you want an SPD compatible shoe, okay? 2 holes on the bottom, not 3. Again, the 3-hole pattern, if you have 3-hole pattern shoes already, there's just a little adapter plate. Just reach out to me. I can shoot you a link from Amazon. It's no big deal. And it works great. You have to adjust seat height a little bit if you're a super nerd about that thing. But what they also make is like a hybrid cycling fitness shoe that looks a lot like this. Most of them have a strap. I've seen some that are lace up, but most of them have a strap. But along the bottom, they have like a tennis shoe sole. They're not as stiff, which I don't really like that. I prefer the really stiff shoe. You're just going to get a lot more out of it, and as far as transferring power to the pedals. But if you like those types of workouts where you're going to, clip out and go start doing another, whether it's some more cardio or, whatever, weights, that is an option I would tell you to check out. Make sure you're getting the 2-hole pattern for the SPD cleat. And those are the shoes that I use. I hope that's helpful. I hope it answers the question, what shoes should I get? What I always tell people too is, look, go to a bike shop, go to a cycling store, tell them what you're doing. Tell them, hey, I have a bike with an SPD cleat. If it's a MYX bike, that's the type of cleat it's got, or pedal rather. I need SPD cleat compatible shoes, and my budget is whatever your budget is. Those first pair of shoes I showed you were probably about $250. Pretty spendy. These were probably less than that, but quite a long time ago. You don't need to spend that much to get into a pair of shoes that are really going to help you. I have seen shoes just on Amazon in the $60 to $70 range that look like they probably would be fine. I don't know whether they're comfortable or not because I haven't tried them on. That's the biggest thing though. If you go to a bike shop and tell them what you're doing, they can give you a couple different options. Again, you'll make sure you get the right hole pattern on the cleat. And then you'll also make sure that you are into something that is comfortable for you, which is really the most important thing. There's a lot of other variables, but you want to make sure they are comfortable if you are going to be riding on an indoor spin bike. I hope this has been helpful. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, info@thefitclubnetwork.com, and I'll talk to you next time.